Well, I said that things are going to be crazy, aren't they? And the Buffalo Sabres have been in a spot where their trade rumors have been absolutely nutty. And what we had with the Eichel thing a few hours ago talked about a trade idea proposed on NHL Network. That was crazy, but this is also quite crazy, if I do say so myself, because the other day we had Taylor Hall. He was scratched. He was held off of the lineup for precautionary reasons. So the trade speculation has picked up. Everybody kind of knows that Taylor Hall is going to be traded. It's just a matter of who, when, and for what. Here's a tweet from Account for Hockey James talking about what Elliotte Friedman said on a local Sportsnet radio hit yesterday. He spoke about Kyle Palmieri with the Devils, and he said that he was benched not because a trade was close, but because the contract talks were not close. With Taylor Hall yesterday getting benched for precautionary reasons, the sense is that something could be close. Friedman doesn't get the sense that it's going to be a Canadian team, as two U.S. teams are grinding away with the Buffalo Sabres. Furthermore, we had trade rumors from Darren Dreger on Insider Trading saying that the GM of the Sabres has advanced on trade discussions regarding Taylor Hall. Things have intensified with at least a couple of teams. But when it comes to who exactly those teams could be, I want to direct your attention to an account on Twitter that I have never actually placed in a video here on this channel, I think. Not sure, we might have shown off one tweet of his, but in general, it's the Account for Hockey, it's the Tages, it's the NHL watchers that usually get put on this channel more. This account is kind of weird, because he's not official, he's not anything, he doesn't have any check marks, he's not affiliated with TSN or Sportsnet, but this account, NHL Rumours Daily, going back to like a year ago, has been breaking some pretty big pieces of information before anybody on TSN or Sportsnet gets to it. The Lake Tahoe thing was revealed by this guy. A few of the signings and the free agent moves done back in October were broken by this guy. We had some trades as well broken by this guy. And even the Johnny Boychuk retiring was something that this Twitter account knew about weeks before it was actually revealed. So the guy behind this Twitter account, in my opinion, is a source that actually does have some pretty good sources. And what he said on Twitter the other day, firstly, he validates his own credibility by saying, oh, it's a coincidence that we tweeted about the Taylor Hall trade rumors before they went live on Insider Trading. Now, this user over here has laid out the line as to who he believes is actually talking to Buffalo when it comes to Taylor Hall. And even though we had Elliotte Friedman saying that he doesn't get the sense that a Canadian team is out there, the big trade idea that we're bringing up here involves the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Florida Panthers, and potentially the New York Islanders. Now, this is the tweet from the other day. I think the Maple Leafs have placed a few calls on Taylor Hall, Florida as well. Not convinced the Islanders do it, but surely they have looked into it. And then we had this tweet as well come out earlier yesterday. Let me just preface this with the truth. As I have said multiple times, the Leafs are not the only team in on Taylor Hall. Many other teams have called. But I do believe Toronto is one of the only few teams with a serious interest in making it work. We will see how this plays out. And if you're looking for the credibility over here, this is what a user replies. No offense, but are you even reliable? The reply from Top Shelf Hockey, aka Mike. I'm pretty sure if you're subscribed to this channel, you know who Mike is. He does some very good YouTube videos on hockey rumors as well. He says that NHL Rumours Daily has been more reliable than the insiders with the blue checkmarks. Trust those of us who have been following for a while and saying that he knows what he's talking about and is an excellent resource of insider info. I agree, Mike, which is why I'm talking about this here. Toronto, Florida, New York, and Taylor Hall. Can the Leafs do this? Can the Leafs go out there and actually pull off a move for probably the guy who is the biggest expiring UFA in this free agency class? There are other rumors going about there talking about guys like Kyle Palmieri and how the Leafs and the Panthers are in there looking for that guy as well. They're just going out there looking for forwards. And as Taylor Hall is the biggest fish on the market in this department, I guess aside from Jack Eichel, but Jack Eichel isn't really a rental now, is he? I think there's good maneuverability to believe that if the Toronto Maple Leafs are going out there looking for a forward, hey, why wouldn't Taylor Hall be on their radar? It's just salary retained, things like the money, those things are going to have to come together in order for a trade like this to go down. But even just disregarding that, not talking about the money, not talking about the salary cap, just talking about the fit, talking about the idea of acquiring this guy in general. if Toronto wants to go out there and do this, and play themselves, Matthews and Hall on the first line, get 2 first overall picks paired up together, because of course, Taylor Hall's been playing with first overall picks his entire career. It just makes sense. In fact, even if Taylor Hall gets traded to Florida, he can play with Aaron Ekblad, first overall pick over there. Imagine playing with Connor McDavid, Nugent Hopkins, Neil Yakupov of all people, as well as Hischier and Hughes, eventually playing with Jack Eichel and Dahlin, to maybe playing eventually with Austin Matthews or Aaron Ekblad later on. Yeah, sounds like Paul Coffey, am I right? Playing with every good player to ever step up in this generation of hockey. But regardless, Toronto and Taylor Hall is a really interesting one because, as Friedman noted, he doesn't believe that there are Canadian teams going out there, but the contrary exists with this other account that I have very much put a whole bunch of faith in because he has been so reliable over the past calendar year. If Toronto is really serious about going out there and acquiring forward depth, because we've had insiders outside of NHL Rumours Daily talking about how hungry Kyle Dubas is to make this work, Taylor Hall, if he's on the market, I have no reason to believe the Maple Leafs would not be interested. The Panthers are in a similar spot. They're actually doing extraordinarily well. They're on top of the NHL in points right now, tied with the Colorado Avalanche, and the Panthers have just really been clicking this season. You know, everything's been going so well for them. Chris Driedger's doing amazingly well in the net as a backup goaltender. Bobrovsky is not terrible this year compared to before, and you have some really good production coming from all aspects of your lineup. It's just that Aaron Ekblad injury is the only real big caveat to what has been a very good season for the Panthers. So if they're going to go out there, acquire somebody, I would not be surprised if they place more emphasis on a defenseman to replace Ekblad in the lineup short term, and maybe have a very stacked defensive core in the playoffs when Ekblad makes his return. But if you're going to go out there and acquire a Taylor Hall, then hey, be my guest as well. That guy could probably help out your team too. It's just interesting to think about what exactly these teams would be giving up. For Florida, they have a lot of young forwards that I could see as somewhat expendable, because if they want to go all in now, win a championship now, do things with Taylor Hall today in the playoffs, I believe they have a good enough team to do that where they can expend some of these U21 forwards or any of these other players they have in their pipeline, because they have themselves a very good, capable, winning roster already. Who knew getting rid of Dadonov and Hoffman would actually help this team? So if you want to go with the youth, because Buffalo's probably going to be asking for youth, is it Owen Tippett? Is it Grigory Denisenko? Is it, I don't know, an Alexei Heponiemi? Because you guys have some very good depth going throughout your lineup that I would not be surprised if there's actual room to move here for some of the younger assets. As for Toronto, we all kind of know money has to come in and come out, so there's going to be salary retained if it's Toronto. There's going to be a big contract-ish with Toronto, maybe a Kerfoot or whatever. But if it's actually something that Kyle Dubas is thinking about, I think Toronto Maple Leafs fans kind of just have to be thanking their lucky stars as to how entertaining their recent seasons have been going down. Now, I know you can say, oh, they've lost in the playoffs. Columbus, Boston, Washington, I get that. I know that they haven't been doing all too well in the postseason, but still, this run of what the Leafs have been doing in acquiring these big names, Matthews in 2016, Marner, Nylander all making their debuts as well, having this incredible success early on and even today. You have Tavares coming over to the team. You have the big trades, the Barry trade, and eventually he left because he wasn't a fit, and you guys got a nice replacement in Brody, and you guys still have some very good star power, and Spezza, and Thornton, and Simmons, and yeah, the Leafs have been an extraordinarily entertaining team to watch from an asset management, acquiring, and trading away point of view. So it just makes sense to me that Taylor Hall would be next up in line, because of course he would be. Joe Thornton, Tavares, Matthews, and Hall all on one team? Yikes. That's way too many first overall picks, dude. And Taylor Hall would have the benefit of playing with all of them. So whether it's Florida, whether it's Toronto, whether it's the Islanders as suggested as potential options by NHL Rumours Daily, who knows where exactly Taylor Hall is going to go. I'm recording this video the night of Tuesday, April 6th, and it'll be uploaded tomorrow, April 7th at noon. PST, by the way. So, if there's a trade done between now and the time this video goes up, then I apologize, but I still wanted to publish this the way that it's been going out because this is a crazy idea, and the rumors have just been picking up like heck at this point of the season. So talk to me in the comments what you think. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.